In this lesson, we will learn about group policy processing. First, we will answer the question, what order group policies are applied, then how Active Directory handles group policy conflict. After that, we will learn how group policy are applied when block inheritance and enforced GPOs are conflict. Finally, we sum up our lesson with the keynotes. So what order group policies are applied? On a computer that is joined to Active Directory environment, group policies are processed in the following order. First, it will load the local policy, which is the policy that is configured on the local computer. Then it will load the group policies that are linked to the site. And after that, it will load the policies that are linked to the domain. And finally, it will load the policies that are linked to the OU. In terms of priority, the local policy has the lowest priority and the organizational unit policies has the highest priority. Therefore, if a conflict happens, the latter will override the former. Let's see group policy processing in action. In the previous lesson, we created three group policies that are to set desktop wallpaper. And the first one is site user policies, and we linked it to the Chicago site. And the second one is domain user policy, and we linked it to the domain hq.itlifeskills.local. And the last one is OU users policies, and we linked it to the users OUs. Let's analyze in what order the group policies are applied to users and computers in this Active Directory environment. First, as starting up, the default domain policy is applied to Win10 PC01 because it is computer policy. When Pamela Srini is signing in to Win10 PC01, her account will be applied the user policies in the following order. First is the site user policy, then the domain user policy, and finally it is OU user policy. S3 policies are to set desktop wallpaper, which causes a conflict. As we know, the OU user policy is linked to users OU, which takes precedence over the domain user policy, which is linked to the domain, and the site user policy, which is linked to the Chicago site. Therefore, Pamela will get the wallpaper set by the OU user policy. Let's verify which computer we are on by using the command hostname, then hit enter. As you can see, we are on Win10 PC01. Now let's verify which user group policies are applied to the account logged into this computer by using the command gp result /r, then hit enter. Now let's scroll up and we are at the user setting. So the account logged into this computer is Pamela Srini, and it is applied with three group policies. The first one is OU user policy. The second one is domain user policy, and the last one is site user policy. And we know that these three policies are to set desktop wallpaper, and based on the analysis, it will get the desktop wallpaper set by the OU user policy. So let's minimize this screen. As you can see, this this is the desktop wallpaper set by the OU user policy. Everything looks good. It is possible to block inheritance at an OU level to prevent the GPOs at the local site domain and higher OU levels from being applied to the OU. If block inheritance is set at the user's OU under IT Life Skills OU like this, then only the OU user policy is applied to Pamela Srini account when she is signing in to Win10's PC01 and no conflicts happens. Let's block inheritance at users OU under IT Life Skills OU. To do that, we need to right-click on the OU and click Block Inheritance. That's it. As you can see, after we block inheritance at users OU, it has exclamation point in the OU's icon. Here we are at Win10 PC01 computer. Let's trigger group policy update by using the command gp update/force. Now let's verify the result by using the command gp results/r, and we are at the user settings for the account Pamela Srini. Now we see only one group policy, which is OU user policy applied to the account after block inheritance interval. If there is a GPO with the settings that must be available to groups of users or computers at the child levels, we can enforce that GPO. When a GPO is enforced, it will take precedence and prevent GPOs at lower levels from overriding. Enforced GPOs also take effect on child OUs that have block inheritance interval. In another word, block inheritance will not be able to block enforced GPOs. If the domain user policies is enforced at the domain level like this, then it will be applied to all lower levels, including the user's OU under IT Life Skills OU. Both the domain and the OU policies are applied to Pamela Srini account when she is signing in to Win10 PC01, but this time the domain GPO takes effect and Pamela will get the domain wallpaper. Now let's enforce the domain user policy that is linked to the domain hq.itlifeskills.local. To do that, we need to right-click on the policy and click on Enforce. That's it. As you can see, after we enforce, the policy has a log icon. Here we are at Win10 PC01 computer. Let's trigger the group policy update by using the command gp update/force. Now let's verify the result by using the command gp result/r, and let's scroll up to the user settings. As you can see, the account for Pamela Srini now has two GPOs applied. The first one is domain user policy and the second one is OU user policy. And we know that these two policies are to set desktop wallpaper, which cause the conflicts. However, the domain user policy is enforced and it will take effect, which means Pamela Srini will get the desktop wallpaper set by the domain user policy. Let's reboot the computer for the policy to take effect. Here we are at the logon screen of Win10 PC01 computer. Let's log on as Pamela Srini, so we need to type in the password. then hit enter. As you can see, Pamela Srini get the desktop wallpaper set by the domain GPO. Everything looks good. This is the end of this lesson. Let's read the keynotes